Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something deeply personal. I'm actually stepping into my own shoes, as Sue the Morty, to share a true story right from my own life. I want to tell you directly about exactly how I fought gender discrimination and landed my very first job at Telco. For all you students tuning in, consider this your personal study guide. I'm going to break down every little detail so you can easily write about my journey in your exams.
Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this. You're a young, bright, highly ambitious engineering student, completely ready to take on the world. I was looking for a job, and I came across an advertisement for Telco, which, you probably recognize today as Tata Motors. But right there, sitting at the bottom of the ad, I saw this exact sentence: "Lady candidates need not apply." Seeing those words made me absolutely furious. It felt so incredibly unfair. I mean, why on earth should my gender dictate what I was allowed to achieve?
To make studying super easy for you, here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The unfair job ad. 2. A postcard to JRD. 3. The Pune interview. 4. First woman on shop floor. And 5. Appro JRD and legacy.
Section 1. The unfair job ad.
So, like I mentioned, Telco was a massively prestigious company. I was a fully qualified engineering student, and I had worked incredibly hard for my degree. So hitting this absolute brick wall, simply because I was a woman, it felt like a massive injustice. It wasn't just a tiny bump in the road. It was a firm, unfair barrier put up by a company I deeply respected. And honestly, it was a wall I decided I just couldn't ignore.
Moving right along to Section 2, a postcard to JRD.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is exactly what I decided to write on that little postcard. Students, definitely memorize these points. First, I pointed out that the Tatas are true pioneers in India. I literally reminded them that they had built India's iron, steel, and science industries from the ground up. Then I hit them with the big question: how can a great forward-thinking company like Telco discriminate between men and women? It just didn't make any sense that such pioneers could be so regressive with their rules. Now here's a kind of funny detail you can add to your exam answers to really show you know the material. I actually addressed my fiery, passionate letter directly to JRD Tata, totally assuming he was the head of the company. Well, it was only much later that I found out the actual chairman at the time was Sumant Mulgonkar. But hey, regardless of whose name was on the address line, that message absolutely hit its mark. Let's move to and see how this builds, because things moved incredibly fast. Day 1, I saw that unfair job ad. Day 2, I fired off that angry postcard to JRD. And amazingly, within just 10 days, I received a telegram. The company actually invited me to come down for an interview at Telco in Pune. And to top it all off, they even offered to pay my travel expenses to get there.
Section 3. The Pune interview. And this brilliantly illustrates the core conflict of the interview, which came down to their traditional concerns versus my logical pushback. This is absolutely perfect for an exam essay. After I confidently nailed all their technical questions, they brought up their reasons for the policy: shift work, a potential posting in Jamshedpur, and the fact that there were literally only men on the shop floor. But I stood my ground. I argued that male employees leave jobs too, right? So why assume a woman wouldn't be committed? I looked them in the eye and promised that I would not waste the investment they were making in me.
Section 4. First woman on shop floor.
So, the crucial point is that this was so much more than just a personal victory. My technical skills and my arguments actually worked. I officially got the job. I became the very first female engineer to ever work on the Telco shop floor. You see, it wasn't just a job for me. It was a historic first for the company and a massive step forward for women in Indian engineering as a whole.
And finally, Section 5, Appro JRD and legacy. Make sure to grab your pens and write this definition down: Appro JRD. It's a beautiful Gujarati phrase that translates to our JRD. This wasn't just some formal corporate title. It really reflected his kind, simple, and deeply caring nature toward all of his employees. During my time there, I got to see firsthand just how approachable and genuinely supportive he was.
Well, my time at Telco was wonderful, but eventually my path took a new direction. In 1982, I made the tough decision to resign from Telco. We were moving to Pune so I could help my husband with his brand new startup, a little company called Emphasis. But before I left, I received JRD's final blessing. It really just speaks volumes about the incredibly supportive and nurturing environment he created. He genuinely wanted to see us succeed, even if it was outside his own company.
I will literally never forget his profound parting words to me. He said, Go with confidence. Return to society when you are successful. Wow. Those words weren't just a nice goodbye. They were a directive. That simple, powerful philosophy shaped the entire rest of my life. It became the guiding light for literally all of my future work and philanthropy.
To put this whole thing into perspective, today an incredible 40 to 50% of engineering students are girls. This proves a vital point for your exam summaries. JRD Tata's true greatness was that he actually valued one young girl's voice calling for justice. By giving me that single chance, it created this massive ripple effect that eventually helped open the doors for half of today's engineering students.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with the direct challenge. If one single postcard can change a life and ultimately help open doors for millions of others, how are you going to use your voice to challenge the unfair rules of today? Take inspiration from this story, study hard for those exams, but most importantly, go out there and act with courage in your own lives. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.